Two. Perfect. Okay, guys. I'm here. Excellent. So yeah, guys. So we're very happy to start a new year with a lot of new expectations. I'm very grateful for everything that has happened this previous year. You guys are amazing. I want you to know that, right? That you guys have unlimited potential to do whatever you want and be creator of your future. So I'm happy and excited for that. And good to see you here, Luis. So let's dive really ready into it. Today we're gonna have Tony that's gonna be with us. Tony, if you can say hi.
What's up? What's up? What's up, Julio?
How are you? Good to see you, man.
I'm
I'm
good,
here.
man. I'm blessed. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm here in beautiful California, seeing the mountains, a lot of snow over here, and very happy for everything that has happened this previous year and very grateful. And you, what's up?
Yeah, it's been a great year, man. It's been a great year. Personally, right? I got a baby on the way, but it's also been a great year for crypto. It's been a great year for the NFT and the metaverse decentralized space.
Great.
And yeah, man, I'm super grateful to be here. I'm trying to set it up so that we can stream to the Facebook group. But for some reason the password isn't synced in here. But yeah, man, I'm freaking blessed. How's California treating you?
California's doing good, man. I like the mountains. I like the snow. But I love my Puerto Rican worm, and that no, I can't change Puerto Rico for anything. But I'm here with the family, so that's what is important. And congratulations again with your baby. I know it's gonna be soon. And yeah, so let's get dive into it. So
So we're basically for the students, we're redoing the whole class starting in 2021, starting in 2022, right? So we're going to be taking people from zero to hero, right?
exactly. Exactly. So today we're going to be talking about the basics, right? About what is crypto, what is blockchain, a little bit about mindset. I think that that's very important. If you're fresh starting, have the right mindset to invest in these markets, right? Because it's a lot of pressure. So what are your thoughts when we start this class saying your thoughts will lead to your reality? What's the first thing that comes to your mind, Tony?
Well, so here's the thing. And I spoke about this on the Disrupt boot camp that we did at the end of the last year. You know, whatever you think, even if it's a subconscious thought, even if you think that you're joking, anything that you think and you say to yourself, it's gonna last longer than you can even imagine. So you'd say to yourself, I'm broke or I'm rich, right? Let's keep it about money at first, right? I'm broke or I'm rich. Well, in the back of your mind, your mind is going to be thinking, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. What are the things that I need to do to attain this? Right. And then your mind is a supercomputer. Your mind is more powerful than any computer, laptop, iPhone that's in the entire world. It's a super duper computer. And even when you're sleeping, even when you're working on something else, you're drinking your coffee, you're not thinking about it. It's in the background running that program. I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, or I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, or I'm successful, I'm successful, I'm successful, I'm a failure, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. Whatever that is, that's good. Program's going to be running in the back of your mind, and your mind is going to tell you, hey, how do I make that an actual reality, right? How do I actually make the real world match what's going on in my brain, right? My goal is to be successful. My goal is to drive a G-Wagon. My goal is to live in Puerto Rico. My goal is to get married. My goal is to have a kid, right? And it's so funny because for me personally, this has been a year of manifestation. And I don't believe in magic. I don't believe in this, a lot of woo-woo stuff. I'm a pretty practical guy. I was born and raised in New York, right? But the one thing that I do know is that I can look at the results, right? Every single time that I put something down on paper, every single time that I made a plan and I executed, every single time that I put out into the universe that I wanted to do an event, I wanted to do start a business, I wanted to find a wife. These are all things that I had to say and I had to plan and prepare for way before they really happened, right? When I came down to Puerto Rico, I still have the book. I had a book and I wrote down my 10 goals for the next 5 years. And I wrote down speak on a TED Talk, right? I want to speak on a TED Talk. I want to buy a house in Puerto Rico. I was still living in New York at the time. I want to get married and settle down and find a wife. I want to have a kid. I want to have a portfolio with X amount of zeros attached to it, right? And I wrote down physically all of those things that I wanted. And then I let my brain work on autopilot in the background, starting to make those plans, right? So there's two factors, right? Number one is your brain going on autopilot, right? But number two is when you start putting out into the world, putting out into the universe and telling all your friends, all your family members, everyone that will listen, hey, I'm working on NFTs. Hey, I'm working on crypto. Hey, I'm investing. I'm raising money for a fund, right? We just raised $500,000 for a mobile app from a Puerto Rican app developer, an app company, right? That happened not because when we started, we didn't have the $500,000 for that app, right? When we started, we were at zero. And then we put it out into the universe. We said, hey, we're raising $500,000. It's $50,000 minimum investment to get involved. And then not only were we affected by the people that hurt us, but then they tell their friends and they tell their associates. And before you know it, the word gets around. And then we had investors from all around the world put the money together, and we were able to raise that money and close that funding round up. And that would have never happened if I would have waited for the money to come first. Mm-hmm. Money doesn't come first. Money follows. It follows actions. It follows intention. It follows integrity, right? So you have to put out into the world what your goals are. If your goal is to have a 7-figure portfolio in crypto, well, then you need to write it down. You need to tell your friends. You need to tell your family members. You need to tell your business partners. You need to tell everyone that will listen, right? Because not only will that help you, right, in the subconscious of getting yourself in the right mindset, but then other people will look for you. They'll look out for you. If you tell your best friend that your goal is to get results in crypto, they might recommend one of Julio's classes and say, hey, you know what? I know this guy. His name's Julio. He's incredible. You need to be in one of his classes, right? And through that referral of sharing a YouTube link, now all of a sudden you're in a completely different mindset, right? They might tell you to go to a crypto meetup like Crypto Monday right here in Puerto Rico, right? That we went to a few weeks ago, right? And just because of that one meetup, and then you have that domino effect of meeting a person, getting in the right room, having the right conversation. So yeah, man, that's the power of intention. And a lot of times you have to reach for things that you don't have in order to get them.
I 100% agree. So we can do one exercise because this is our first class, is to write down a realistic goal that you want to achieve in cryptocurrencies. Like, what do you want to achieve? I think that's the first step for you to start investing. And then we could also add that you need to learn to control your emotions and reinforce the type of thought that you have. Okay. It's like what Tony was saying, depending on the way that you see the lenses of life, it's gonna pay you back, because the life gives you what you deserve and what you actually believe in, what you work for. So the way that you think is gonna affect directly the way that you achieve your goals. Okay. And in trading and in investing, people make decisions because they're focused of fear or greed. Do you agree, Anthony? What's your thoughts on these two types of emotion that are fear and greed, that they dominate in the markets?
Yeah. So, I mean, fear and greed are the two most fundamental, emotions in the market, right? And one of the people in my community that is in the NFT space, he was telling me recently that the hardest thing to do is to sell during a bull market, right? It's not even to hold in a bear market. It's painful, but you can do it. You can kind of just hold on, and when stocks or crypto or NFTs are going down, you can hold on and say, you know what, I'm not going to sell. I might be upset, but I'm not going to sell. But the hardest thing is not having greed in a bull market, right? When things are going up and you're like, okay, well, my money doubled, but you know what? It could triple, it could quadruple, right? So I'm going to keep holding on. The hardest thing to do is to sell when things are going up, because FOMO, right? You don't want to miss out. So I think the first thing as a trader and an investor is to get over the fear, right? That's the first thing, because the biggest mistake that people do is they sell when things go down, right? Things go down, they immediately sell, then things go back up and they're like, oh my God, I should have just waited, right? But the second, and I think the more difficult, right? And you don't lose until you sell, and you don't make any money until you sell, right? So when things are going down and you're like, oh, I lost no, you didn't. You only lose money when you exit a position. It's all about your entry and your exit. So the first thing you have to overcome is the fear, right? The fear of things are down and, oh my God, are they going to go to zero? Bitcoin's going to go to zero. They've been saying that for like 10 years. Bitcoin is obviously not going to go to zero. It would be very, very hard, very difficult for Bitcoin to go to zero. But the first part is getting over that fear of, hey, things are going down. Oh my God, should I sell? Right? But then the second thing, and the real way to actually become profitable, is to not have greed, right? Because if you have greed, well, then you're never going to sell. You're never going to take any profits. You're never going to secure. And half the time you might move out of fear because you're getting scared after things are down and you're pulling out, right? So you need to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? Know when to hold on and allow the market to fluctuate, because it does go up and it does go down. But you also need to let go of the greed and thinking that you're going to sell at the top and have psychic powers and know where the freaking top is, because no one knows where the top is, right? So you need to be willing to take your profits and never compromise acceptable gains, like doubling your money or getting 50% on your money, right? Never compromise acceptable gains for unacceptable losses.
I like that one. So when we talk about a mindset that is willing to learn from past mistakes, because when you enter the market and when you leave, you need to know why you enter and why you left. Okay, these are points that are necessary for you to know and as to grow as an investor. So what practical things, Tony, you could say that it will be good for people to learn, actually not not be depressed as well, if not use a mistake or a negative trade to grow and become a better investor?
I think people need to learn that the best way to grow your account is by growing your account from the outside. Everyone wants to treat the markets like lottery tickets. I put this on Twitter this weekend. I said, cryptocurrency is a decentralized casino. Everyone wants to treat the markets, whether it's cryptos, whether it's NFTs, whether it's stocks. Everyone wants to treat the market like the lottery. Everyone wants to treat the market like it's a lottery ticket, like it's a casino. And that's not how Warren Buffett made money. That's not how Ray Dalio made money. That's not even how Brock Pierce made money and these other crypto guys, right? These crypto investors, Mark Cuban, whoever it is that you look up to financially, myself included, although I'm not don't want to put myself in the same category as those guys, but my portfolio is pretty healthy. They got there by contributing and then contributing again and then contributing again and then contributing again. That's how they got there. That's how those people got those results. It was not from putting $1 in and then that $1 turned into $1 million. That's definitely not what happened, right? And the one example that I want to give is when I set up a Morgan Stanley brokerage account, right? So for those of you that don't know, Morgan Stanley, I'm going to turn the screen share off for a little while. Those of you who don't know, Morgan Stanley is one of the biggest investment firms in the world, right? It's like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs and like Citadel, right? It's like pretty much the biggest hedge funds in the world, right? So Morgan Stanley, traditionally, you would have to have a lot of money to open a Morgan Stanley account. It's a private club. It's a private boys club, right? For guys with a lot of money. But then recently, in the last few years, with the advent of retail investing and trading, etc., Morgan Stanley opened up a self-service where you could just go on their website and you can make an account and you could start investing with them, right? So I go to open up the account and I was like, I got to see what this is, right? I usually use more indie type of platforms. I use TD Ameritrade, Robinhood, Coinbase, those types of platforms. But I was like, all right, well, let me see what it's like to be inside of a Morgan Stanley type of a platform. So I go to the website and I click sign up, right? Register. And the first question they asked, they didn't ask my name. They didn't ask my email address, my phone number, my social security number. The first question they asked is, how much money are you going to contribute today? How much money are you going to contribute today? They didn't want to know my freaking name unless I told them how much money was I going to put in today. And to make matters worse, they wouldn't even let me click next if I put anything less than 5,000. If I put any amount less than 5,000, I could not click next to open the account. So there's a little slider. I slide it to 5,000 and I click next. I'm expecting again to do an email password. The next question, how much money are you going to contribute on a monthly basis into this account to grow it to help you reach your goals? So again, I dragged the little slider and I put it at 5,000. That one didn't have to be 5,000. It could have been a little less, but I dragged the little slider. Okay, 5,000 down and 5,000 a month. Let's see it. And I click next. Again, no email, no password. They generate a graph and they show you over time in 20 years how much money is going to be in your account. They take into account that the money is going to be invested. They take into account an average rate of return of 10% or whatever it is that they usually get at their firm. And they're showing you over time with a long-term mindset where you're going to be in 20 years. And they showed that I think you could become a multimillionaire in 20 years if you did that exact strategy, right? And you might think, well, 5,000 is a lot of money, but it's not $1 million. But by contributing consistently, monthly to that account and growing it, right? And there's not that there wasn't growth in the account. The account is also growing. Those assets are also maturing, but it's not a lottery ticket. Not even Morgan Stanley can take $1 and turn it into $1 million. That doesn't happen, right? So I think the biggest difference between, the winning mindset and the losing mindset is having a long-term outlook. In 2017, when the crypto market crashed and everyone said it was the end of the world, it was the people that held onto their convictions and didn't sell their crypto. Those are the people that benefited and bought more and said, you know what? I really believe in Ethereum. I really believe in Bitcoin. I'm going to buy more. It was the people that bought more during those times of pain because they had a long-term mindset, because they weren't worried about what they're going to make in a day or a week, right? And they had that tunnel vision for the future. Those are the people that are now reaping all the benefits and all the rewards. So I think the biggest difference between people that are going to generate real wealth in this market are people who have patience, people who have discipline. And it's kind of like, going to the gym, right? You can't go to the gym once and expect to get results. No, you have to keep putting in work every week, putting in work, right? So your portfolio, your investing account is no different. You have to be putting in work every single week or month, every paycheck, taking a portion of what you earn and putting it into the market and investing into things that you believe in, investing into things that if they go down, you'll actually buy more because that's how much you believe in them, right? And yeah, so I think that's the biggest difference in mindset.
Perfect. So I 100% like what you said, and everything's with mindset, and things take over time. It's not gonna happen overnight. And so what we could start talking, so we can get a little bit into cryptocurrencies. So if we were gonna talk about crypto, it's like a form of digital cash, right? Where people can send money around the world and do transactions person to person. And when we talk about crypto, what is the first cryptocurrency that it comes to our mind, right? It's Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Yep.
So Bitcoin was created in 2008, and that white paper, on 9 pages, where it was telling the specific uses for the Bitcoin, right? And in 2009, it launched, okay? But Bitcoin is backed by something that's called the blockchain, okay? So in simple words, Tony, what you can say that is a blockchain?
So before crypto, before Bitcoin, every single bank would have a ledger. So every single bank would basically have a record, a big notebook or a big spreadsheet. Think of it as a paper version of a spreadsheet. And they would have everyone's name who had a bank account, and then how much money they had. And then when people made a deposit, when people took out money, when they withdrew it, they would write it down in this spreadsheet. It's a big spreadsheet. It's called a ledger. So that's the way that all banks worked up until the advent of the internet. And then after the internet came out, those paper big books turned into digital versions of spreadsheets and databases, et cetera, but they still operate pretty much the same way. Now you might think, oh, that's great. That sounds like a great way to organize your money. Well, the problem with that, the biggest problem with that is corruption and the ability for abuse, right? That means if my money's just written down on a piece of paper in the bank or in a database on a computer, it means anybody that has access to that record can then go in there and change it. And we've seen this happen at different times in history. We've seen this happen where people's bank accounts are frozen, people's bank accounts are limited, people's PayPal accounts get shut down, people's bank accounts have some sort of limitation, etc. Sometimes it happens for political reasons, right? If we have any friends from Venezuela or Cuba or other countries where communism and socialism and totalitarian governments take over, a lot of times they'll seize the assets of the most richest people. They'll go to the bank and say, hey, well, we're in charge now. We're the government. And so we're going to seize all your assets. So that's kind of the problem with that old traditional banking system, is because it's only as powerful, it's only as strong as the bank, right? As the guy that works in the bank. The guy that works in the bank can decide, oh, well, we don't like people from Venezuela. So anyone that logs into our bank account with that IP address, we're going to freeze their account, right? Or we don't like people from this political party, so we're going to freeze their account, right? So that's the problem with the traditional banking system. Now, how Bitcoin and blockchain technology proposes to fix this is by taking those same records that are digital, but they're centralized. They're on one computer, or they're owned and controlled by one organization, one bank, one financial institution, right? And take them and put them on everyone's computer, right? And then create a consensus. And what that means is that we're going to look at, we're not going to take Julio's word for it. Julio could be mining Bitcoin and have a Bitcoin mine set up on his computer, right? And then there could be another mining set up on Lewis's computer, another mining set up on my computer. But we're not just going to take these three guys' word for it. What we're going to do is we're going to look at all the Bitcoin records in the world, and we're going to take a consensus. We're going to take a vote. And if Julio agrees with Lewis, agrees with Tony, agrees with 51% or more of the rest of the Bitcoin miners, well, then we're going to take that as truth. We're going to take that as consensus, and we're going to validate that record that this person really has that much money, right? And it's basically democratizing the control of money, right? Because now it's not about who the manager at the bank is. It's not about who the president of the country is, or the authority, or whatever. It's completely democratized based on all the miners in the pool and on that blockchain. So this is actually similar, depending on how old everybody is. This is similar to the way Napster and the Pirate Bay and LimeWire and some of these music sharing services used to work. So back before iTunes and before Spotify and before it was easy to download songs on the internet legally, there were a lot of illegal streaming services, and they would operate the same way. They would have a file, they would have a music file. And if you wanted to listen to that music file, well, you would actually download a little piece of it from all your friends, from everyone on the network. And you'll be able to download that file really quickly. Well, blockchain works the same way. It's that banking record that we spoke about earlier is not stored in the bank. It's stored in every miner's computer, every single person's computer. And then it creates an encrypted record that cannot be hacked. It cannot be changed. No one can wake up tomorrow and decide that your crypto account can't send funds for some reason, right? And there's also no limitations, right? Think about your debit card, right? Your Visa or MasterCard debit card. If you go to the bank and you try to take out more than $500, it's not going to happen. They're not going to let you take out more than 500. And if you send a wire transfer, maybe between 3,000 to 10,000, anything over 10,000, they're going to make it increasingly difficult. They're going to ask for text messages sent to a phone. They're going to ask for authorization. They might just choose completely not to allow you to do it. I have to go into the bank multiple times per year to authorize them and let them know, no, yeah, it's really me. I really want to send these wire transfers. I'm not a criminal. I've had the bank accuse me of like money laundering because I was trying to pay people. And they're like, are you money laundering? I was like, no, I'm not money laundering. It's like, well, who's this person in Mexico? I was like, this is a novella star. Okay. This person is famous. They're on TV. And I had to pull up records of all these different people. But one of the biggest problems is KYC, right? And KYC is called Know Your Customer. And in most countries, there is a law that in order for you to send and receive money, you need to know your customer. You need to know who the hell are you sending money to. And because of that, we take it for granted here in the United States that we have a blue passport. And even here in Puerto Rico, we're born with American citizenship, with social security numbers. So we're able to interact and we're able to be part of this traditional banking system. But if you're born in Venezuela, if you're born in Mexico, if you're born in places in Africa, there are certain places that they're kind of on the blacklist of these financial institutions. And even if you show your ID, even if you show your passport, it's going to be really hard for you to set up a traditional bank account. And that's where the blockchain comes in. The blockchain doesn't care. The blockchain kind of operates like a phone number. So the same way how I can send a text message to anyone, I don't need to know their name. As long as I have their phone number, I can send them a text message. Well, as long as I have someone's Bitcoin or their cryptocurrency address, I can send them money. And it doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter where they are. As long as I have their address, I'm able to send that transaction to them.
That's great, man. And we can also add three qualities that it has, the blockchain. That number one is cheap and a fast payment of method, right? So we know that that traditional method, like Tony was saying, the wire, it takes time, it takes a lot of money because you're gonna need to pay for that wire, even though it's your money, but you're gonna need to pay for the service. In crypto, you could use some blockchains, like for example Stellar Lumens, and it costs less than a cent, and in seconds you receive the money and the transaction. So that is one of the top disruptive things that crypto has. Also, the censorship resistant that Tony was saying, because of the way that the network is designed, is it's almost impossible to be hacked. So that's something very, very
Yeah, you have to hack the whole internet. You have to turn off the internet to turn off blockchain, right?
exactly. And also another thing that's permissionless, that nobody can stop you from using cryptocurrencies. So those are the top 3 points that mainly Tony said that you guys need to write it down. That's why it's important. Okay. Are you guys understanding so far everything about crypto, or no? Let us know in the chat. We want to make sure that you guys are understanding. Okay. So Tony, is there any difference between trading and investing for you? And what, as you as an investor, is your view in both of the styles of investing?
Yeah, so trading is essentially trying to earn a income from market fluctuations, market movements, right? I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. And there are a lot of big differences between the two, right? When you're trading, you're usually making trades every day, possibly every week. And your goal is actually to try to extract money and take money out of the market. That can lead to some problems, like I was mentioning earlier, because you might end up selling things at the wrong time, right? You might end up saying, oh, well, I'm going to make these trades, and by the end of the month, as long as the market does what I want it to do, right, then I should be able to pull the money out. What if the market doesn't do what you want it to do? Then you may end up pulling the money out at the wrong time. But trading is more active. Investing is more passive. But you can be an active investor or a passive trader. My goal is to grow my accounts. When I put money into a market, I don't want to take the money out. I want to continue to contribute because I want to contribute because I want to continue to build my wealth. So my market activity, even though it is trading, I operate much more like a long-term investor because my goal is never to pull the money out and spend it. Right. My money for spending is my money for spending. My money for investing and trading is going to stay in those assets. It might change asset classes, right? I might take some money out of stocks and put it into crypto, vice versa, or it might change investing platforms, right? I might take some money out of Coinbase and put it onto a decentralized exchange. I might take some money out of Coinbase or Gemini, which is another great company, and put it into an NFT, right? But my goal is not to, buy an NFT, flip an NFT, then take the money out and then go spend it.
Right.
My goal is to buy an NFT, sell the NFT for more than I paid for it, hopefully, and then use that money to buy a new project, or use that money to buy something else in the crypto and decentralized space, or take the money and stake it, right? Recently, when we were hitting all-time highs, when Bitcoin was hitting like that 69,000, I took all of my crypto assets, literally all of them, and I put them into stable coins, right? Because I don't want to get hit by by a market crash. So I took all of my assets, I put them into stable coins, and then I staked the stable coins. So I'm earning a very small amount of passive income on them. And then as the market kind of leveled out and hit some lower points, I got back in. Right. And I still actually have some of my money tied up in stable coins though. Right. Because my goal is to make my portfolio grow. And I'm okay with that happening slowly and over time, as long as the amount that's in my portfolio continues to go up. Right. The stock market usually makes about 10% per year. Your bank account usually gets you about 1% if you're lucky, usually less per year. So if I can make some moves in crypto and double my money in a month or two, if I can make some moves in crypto and make 20% a month instead of 10% per year, well, I'm happy. That's very attractive to me. And one of the other amazing things about cryptocurrency is you can take money and put it into stable coins that don't go up and down in value. They're completely pegged to the US dollar. It's the same thing like having money into a bank account. And you can get on Gemini 8% on your actual money. And then the great part is your funds that are in Gemini are able to be deployed unstaked and then put into a crypto asset when you find a crypto asset that you're interested in, right? So I've actually been using stable coins a lot more because you have the ability to have money saved the same way how you would have money sitting in a bank account, savings account, but instead of getting 1%, you're getting 10% or more. And then deploy that capital at the right time, right? But the right time is not necessarily when things are going up, right? That's the right time to sell when things are at all-time high, right? When things are going down, that's actually the time to buy. But that's the big difference. Back to your original question, that's the big difference between investing and trading. Trading is a little bit more active. It's more risky, right? By definition. And it's, day trading. When we talk about day trading, that's investing and getting in and out of the market with the goal of trying to take money out of the market. The way that I see it, I want as much money in the market as possible because I want my money to work for me and I want it to multiply, right? And again, I might pull out money to put it into a new investment like real estate. I just got into real estate this year, pretty heavy. But I would do that. I would take money possibly out of crypto or possibly out of the stock market or possibly out of the NFT market, right? In anticipation of maybe investing into real estate, right? But I still want my investment money to grow and to multiply. And then I live on a very small amount of money. The mortgage on my house is less than $2,000 a month. I pay $1,800 a month is the mortgage on my house. In Puerto Rico, that's like kind of a lot. But it, compared to New York, I mean, you can't even get a studio for $1,800 a month. And so I try, and I do like nice things, but I do try to live, below my means and to take a majority of my income and to place it into the market to make it work for me. So that's the investment mindset versus the kind of the day trading mindset.
That's amazing. And I saw that you actually recently got into a mutant ape. Congratulations. they went parabolic. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been following up with mutant ape jack club and the Bored Ape Jack Club. It went from like 20,000, it went to 50,000 already. And a lot of people getting
Crazy.
and
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and that's very, very profitable. So can you tell us a little bit about what gives value to the community in NFTs and what are NFTs? Because we mentioned it, but maybe people are new and they don't know what it is.
Yeah, so NFTs are digital art, right? So similar to what iTunes did for music, right? Before, if you were a musician and you wanted to release a song, you would have to you would have to get a record label and get signed to a big deal and work with like a big company. Well, now you can kind of go direct to consumer. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong strain. Now you can go direct to consumer with your art, right? So you can take art that you have, that you own, etc., or that you've created, and you can put it onto the blockchain, and you can show digital ownership over art pieces. And I just wanted to share my screen real quick and show you guys one of the biggest NFT marketplaces. It's called OpenC, and it's essentially like eBay for art. It's a crypto version of kind of like an eBay. And okay, cool. Everybody can see my screen. Okay, cool. So this is OpenC. They're essentially like an eBay for buying and selling art. And then the projects that we're talking about are the Mutant Ape Yacht Club and then the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So you guys have probably seen this stuff on social media if you follow any techie or crypto related news sites. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club has recently become one of the top cryptocurrency NFT projects in this whole metaverse space. And it's crazy because one of these apes, they're selling for, or actually I can go to the sold, right? These apes are selling for 90, and that's not $90, that's 90 Ethereum, which is $300,000 for a picture of a monkey. So when I first saw this, I mean, my first thought was that's ridiculous. Why would anyone pay $300,000 for a monkey? And I think that's kind of a natural reaction. I think if you're not in this space, and
I remember them when they were 0.8, 0.88 Ethereum. It was 0.8, but less than one Ethereum.
Yeah. And now they're going for, the price of a house, right? But I wanted to talk a little bit about the mindset, Julio, because like when I saw this, I was very skeptical. I'll be honest with you. I saw it, I was like, wow, this looks kind of cool, but I'm not. And they were going for 5,000 each, 10,000 each, and I was like, dude, but there's no way I'm spending $5,000 on a monkey. Like, there's no way. The website's really cool. It's interactive, right? And we were sharing this, was it like right before the mint or right after the mint that this was on our radar?
I think it was like 2 weeks after, right?
Like 2 weeks after the launch, yeah. And it actually, here's one of the interesting things. Bored Ape Yacht Club did not sell out. This mint did not sell out right away. Now in the NFT space, basically they'll launch these collections, and just to backtrack, so there's 10,000 of these things. There's never going to be more than 10,000 of them. And when they launched for less than 1 Ethereum, right? I think they launched for 0.08, right? Which was like $300. So there's a lot of other projects that have launched since, and those projects usually sell out in 1 day. And that's kind of been the standard, is you release a project and 1 day, 24 hours, sells out. And if not, it's a failure. It's a terrible project. Well, Bored Ape Yacht Club did not sell out in 1 day. It took, I think, a few weeks for it to sell out. But it eventually did. And their utility, besides the art, which the art is pretty cool, but besides the art, is kind of a members only mastermind. So not only do you get the ape, but you also get commercial ownership of the creativity of the art. And this is really important because one of the other big projects in the crypto NFT space was CryptoPunks. So CryptoPunks was trending, being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at the time. And now you can't even buy one. there's actually no floor price because there's not even one available for sale. Now these were released for free. These were released for free back in 2017. So these have been out for a while. And they were released as the first ever NFT, or the first ever commercially successful, viable, popular NFT. And they were shown as an example. Like, hey, here's an example of something you could do. You could create these really simple graphics, and they can be sold and they can be on the blockchain. And essentially the same way how you have that decentralized ledger with who has how much Bitcoin in their wallet, crypto in their wallet. It's also going to show in your wallet what NFTs you own, right? Because the first thing that people say when they start learning about NFTs, well, why can't I just right click and click save as image? You can do that. You definitely could do that. You might get sued, depending, but you could do that. But what you can't do is buy and sell it. So this CryptoPunk, for example, is on the blockchain on a global ledger, and it's assigned to this person. And here's their actual Ethereum address. So with this address, this is essentially that phone number that we spoke about earlier, where I can send money to him. So I can actually send money to this gentleman, Tony. This is not me, guys, by the way. This is not my alter alias. But I could send money to this guy if I wanted to using this phone number. I could also send NFT art. So I could send a different piece of art. And this is all the art that he owns. So he owns all this art. All this art is assigned to his
all
phone
the
number.
CryptoPunks he owns.
What? Get out of here. This isn't my secret wallet, guys. I promise. Oh my God. That's crazy.
What? He has over $5 million in CryptoPunks there.
That's
right now.
insane. But yeah, but with that wallet address, right? I know that he owns these CryptoPunks, right? And the thing that I always say to people when they say, "Oh, well, I can just save the image." Yeah, you could take a screenshot of $100 bill too. You can't spend it. You know, you could take a picture in front of someone else's car. You can't drive it, right? So that's the big difference is you can't actually use the asset, which means that you can't sell it. And it also means that you can't use it to unlock things. So what a lot of these projects do, Bored Ape Yacht Club is a great example, is they have members only benefits. So if you own a Bored Ape Yacht Club, they do meetups all around the world. They just did one in New York City for NFT week. And they have members only meetups where the only way to attend that event, that party or whatever it is to own one, right? They also have a members only section of their Discord. So think about how cool it would be if you could go to a party or a mastermind or be in a network of other people who have the ability to spend $250,000 on a monkey. And now that is what the Bored Ape Yacht Club has quickly become. The price, again, started at a few hundred, quickly rose to a few thousand. But now celebrities are buying these things. I'm going to look for a celebrity list. I just shared one on my Instagram. Yeah. Mark Cuban, Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, Eminem bought one, Logan Paul, Gary V, DJ Khaled, Snoop Dogg. I mean, really, really big people. And it honestly feels like every day they're announcing a new celebrity who has purchased one, right? And now think about that. Think about being at an event with Steph Curry. Think about being at an event with Gary V or Mark Cuban or Eminem or any of these other really highly influential people that are now joining this digital yacht club, right? It's like a digital version of a country club. So yeah, it's quickly become one of the most fast growing. I think it's broken records. And it's been deplatforming CryptoPunks, which came out in 2017. This came out in June, right? So it's quickly becoming one of the top projects in the NFT space, getting a lot of publicity. And if we go right here to stats, yeah, Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club are here. So now let's talk about Mutant Ape. So I didn't buy a Bored Ape. By the time I aped in, the Bored Apes were already, all six figures, 100,000, 200,000, etc. And what they did is they released a second collection, like a sister collection, called the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. And every single person that had one of the original monkeys, the monkeys would transform and they would turn into mutant apes. So they would transform. I want to find a good example of like before and after. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good example right here. Yeah, so they would transform into mutants. So you think, okay, well, it's another cool piece of art. But what they did when they did that, right? So if you had this ape on the left, this kind of normal looking ape with a red hat, they sold a serum, and I believe the serum was like 3,000 at launch. Now some of them are selling for millions of dollars, but at launch the serum was 3,000. And for $3,000, you could convert this monkey and get a second monkey, and then you would have the ability to sell both of them or either one of them, and you would have two pieces of art. What happened when they did that is then they also announced that anyone that owns a mutant would have all the same benefits of the people that own the original ones, right? Or most of the same benefits. I don't know if there's a huge difference. From what I've saw, there's really not much of a difference. But basically, they would still be invited to the meetups. They would still get access to the Discord community. They would pretty much get access to everything. The only big difference being that this is a sister collection, and they released 20,000 of them instead of 10,000. So it's a little less rare. And when they did that, initially, nobody was buying these. I actually thought this was a fake project at first. I don't know if you remember, Julio. I sent you this project. And I was like, Julio, is this legit? Like, because I thought it was fake. I was like, it looks real. I mean, it's verified, but in the NFT space, there are a lot of copycats. There's a lot of projects that are not officially endorsed by the creators, and somebody will make kind of a knockoff. It's kind of like a fake Louis Vuitton bag or a fake Rolex, right? And they'll make a project that kind of looks like another project, but it's not real. It's not legit. And so I remember when I found this and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool looking. But I don't even know if it's real. And I sent it to Julio and he was like, no, I like it. It's real. And at that time I still didn't buy, and they were going for, at that time, about 3 Ethereum, right? 3 or 4 Ethereum. Yeah. And if you look, okay, Bored Ape Yacht Club, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Some of them are going for millions, right? And then you have another project that's endorsed by the first project, has all the same benefits. You can go to the same parties, you can be in the same group, etc., right? But it's only 3 Ethereum, right? That's a huge difference. And you're getting the same benefits. So I knew, and they actually had gone up. Let me see if I can see the price history. They had actually gone up and then pulled back a little bit. Yeah, I think I bought mine somewhere around here, and they had gone up to like close to 10 ETH, right? And then they came back down, and they came back down to around 7. Yep. And I was like, man, listen, I got to get in, because there's no way this has the same benefits as the project that's 100,000 each, right? And again, I bought it as an investment. I don't like to lose money. Thank you, Louis. I don't like to lose money. I didn't buy it to look cool. I bought it because I saw a market opportunity. I was like, wait, if this thing is going to give me the same benefits at 6 Ethereum, or whatever it was. It's going to give me the same benefits. I think Bored Ape Yacht Club was at 50 at that same time. Let's see. Yeah, around 50, right? So one project is 100,000, 200,000. Another project is 20,000. 20,000 is still a lot of money. But proportionally, I knew that it had to go up, that they were underpriced. And yeah, so I purchased my ape. Let's find them. Where's he at? CEO. And you can stay anonymous on this platform, but I created a profile so people can see. Like, I didn't just right click the ape. I actually own it. And then I have it linked to my Instagram, linked to my Twitter. So here's my monkey. So I purchased my monkey. Where is he? For 7.4 Ethereum. And now I have it listed. I just listed it for sale for 100,000. So if somebody wants to come and give me 6 figures for it, they can have it. It's up there for sale.
You can buy a house with that and Puerto Rico and put it to rent and have residual income.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a considerable amount of money. I want to actually share while I'm in my portfolio here. I want to share these things. These are really freaking cool. So this is Apocalypse Ape. Now, this is an unofficial project. So this project is not endorsed. You see, it doesn't have the blue check. It's not endorsed by the Bored Ape Yacht Club, but some people who own the Bored Apes created this. It's called a derivative project. If you actually look in the licensing for the apes, you're allowed to have derivative projects. Let me see where it talks about the ownership. Yeah, full ownership and commercial rights are given to the consumer over the NFT. You own it. So when you buy one of these apes, you own the intellectual property for the art, which means you can create a whole other collection. So that's what some of these guys did. There was a team of NFT guys, and they created this project that is based on the apes. Let's find the team. Yeah, here they go. So here's the founder. He owns an ape, and I think some of these other guys own apes and mutants, and then they created this derivative project. So as you can see, the art is different, but it is very, very similar to the Bored Apes, kind of similar to mutants. You know, they're apocalyptic, so they're kind of crazy looking. And this project minted at $300, similar to the apes. And I actually shared it in my story when it was minting. And Izzy bought one. Izzy, our videographer, when you hear us talking about Izzy, he's behind the cameras there. And so Izzy from our team bought one, and now they're selling for around $5,000. So you could have minted, and this is in less than like a week, or maybe 2 weeks tops. So you could have minted one here. If you would have minted one, it would have been about $300. No, here's the mint. Would have been about $300. And just yesterday, they were selling for over $5,000. They're down a little bit today, which has me worried. Hopefully, the hype keeps going. But yeah, man, you were able to buy these things for $300 2 weeks ago, right before Christmas, and now they're selling for $5,000. And again, I don't know where everyone's from, and I don't know their financial situation. But $5,000 is a lot of money, man. $5,000 is a lot of money to get generated in 2 weeks in passive income by buying a monkey.
Right.
And you know, but the one thing I just want to say as a warning, and then Julio, please, is, you know, there are a lot of crypto and NFT scams out there too. Right. So for every great project like this, there are projects that you know fall flat on their face, or straight out scams. Right. So you definitely need to do your research. Go ahead, Julio.
So yeah, definitely NFTs are a great opportunity. This class was like an overall of what to be expecting in the markets, like an overview, and I'm very excited for everything that's going to happen in 2022 in crypto and NFTs. I have one of my collections. It are called the doodles. Look for them.
Oh yeah, doodles are crazy too.
I have two doodles, and
Yeah,
uh,
Fat Joe was promoting it.
yeah.
Fat Joe put it as his profile picture.
Woo, 8 ETH. Woo! I didn't say about yeah. I got in like 2 Ethereums or something like that, but it's crazy.
So now they're at 32K in dollars, 8 Ethereum. That's freaking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so you were able to 4 times your money. And how long did you hold them?
I hold them like for 2 months. Yeah, for 2 months it wasn't moving. I didn't got desperate, but now I have them. Yep. I think I'm gonna ape out when it reaches 10 Ethereum. I'm gonna sell one.
Yeah, sell one. Sell
Yeah.
one,
I
and then
think
you're in the green, you're in the money. Come on, we just talked about greed. What are we doing here? I know.
yeah.
I almost threw my mutant on the floor last night. I almost like completely, and I was like, nah, let me put 100K, see if anybody. It has some rare traits, so let me see if anybody's crazy and buys it a little above the floor. For those of you who don't know, the floor, that's like the minimum price. But there are some of these that are selling for like a lot more, right?
Right.
If we go for the recent sold, and yeah, but you can't buy these on Coinbase. You need to have a more advanced wallet. We'll go
Yep.
into all that logistics and stuff. So you make sure that you protect your investments here. I can't believe these are investments, but welcome to 2022. The world of the metaverse is freaking here. So yeah, look, this one just sold for 70 grand. This one just sold for 70 grand. You can look up in properties. Yeah, it has two like 1% or less properties, which means it's like pretty super rare. And yeah, and it freaking sold for 70 G's. Like it's nuts. I saw a post on Twitter. They said if you're not in NFTs right now, you must not like money because there is a lot of money that is being made and a lot of transactions that are happening in this space. And I think it's going to continue to boom. I mean, just like everything, like the .com bubble and like every other bubble, there will be winners and losers.
Yep.
But I definitely think that the opportunity is really too intense to pass up. You definitely want to be in this space, and then this is also going to change the direction.
My two doodles are there. Look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show everyone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm very excited and very grateful for this class, and yeah, I'm happy to be showing you guys and Tony how to actually make it in crypto. So yeah, guys, we have a class in around 30 minutes. It's gonna be about the top three cryptos. This is gonna be in Spanish if you guys want to attend. So you guys are there. And top three cryptos in
Right. Yeah, it's
2022.
right there. Here it is. Yeah, so this class is starting in 25 minutes.
Yep.
The class is in Spanish. I'm gonna drop the link for everybody, so that everyone has it. And yeah, man, I mean, this is the year of crypto, is the year of the metaverse. We had Nike buy an NFT company for, rumors are saying, $1 billion.
Yeah, $1 billion.
We have Adidas buying a CryptoPunk and doing a huge collaboration. So big names, whether it be Mark Cuban, whether it be big brands like Nike and Adidas, big names, big brands are getting into this space. And 2022 is going to be the year of crypto, the year of decentralization, the year of democratization. And yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm super excited for Julio's class. Everybody that's on, definitely join at that link. And yeah, guys, super pumped. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Hang on, we're still on. Just give me a second. And this. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.